Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Mirror People's Pet Awards with our friends at Webbox and our charity partners, Dogs Trust and Cats Protection. And a huge welcome back, Judy. After last year's brilliant debut, we're absolutely delighted that you're taking charge of proceedings again.
Thank you, Michelle. I'm absolutely gassed to be back. I'm not too gassed, mind you. I'm with EDF Energy, and I haven't got that kind of dollar. Yeah, okay. So listen, they are lovely, amazing animals, and we're here together, and it's lovely to be in such brilliant company. I was so honoured last year to be invited to host this wonderful award. I'm going to be honest with you, though. I never grew up with pets. I'm from a Jamaican background. Yes. You know that means black people didn't grow up with pets. I'm going to keep it real with you, okay? But now I'm a proud owner of a cat, Bella. Bella, yes, thank you. Woo-hoo. My Bella is a cutie. I mean, she's going out more than me, trust me. I feel like she gets more dates than me, if I'm honest with you. But I come home with a bag of goodies for Bella last year, and I came home in the house, and the kids literally was excited, thinking they were for them, and I had to tell them, move out the way, it's for the kitty cat, okay? I know some of you lot are thinking kitty cat for something else, but stop being so naughty. Anyway, I've learnt from last year and I've ordered an Uber X so I can load up all the Webbox Licky Lick cat treats. I mean, that Licky Lick was a lot for someone who's dyslexic, okay? I know you saw me struggling. Licky Lick. If I'm honest with you, I wanted to taste some of it myself. Is that weird?
Oh, well, I don't know.
She loved it. Anyway, let's get on with it.
It could be tomorrow's headline. News. Thanks, everyone, for joining us tonight. It is a real pleasure to see so many of you back again. And even better, so many of you have brought your gorgeous doggies. So even if they're not winning tonight, we can all agree they all fill our hearts, and that's what tonight's all about. Yeah. These awards are for our amazing pets and their people, and they don't come much more amazing than our first winner. Over to you, Judy.
Yes, can I just say, who's got their tissues ready? Has anyone got their tissues? Did you not see me do the ugly cry last year? Okay. This Webbox Joy of Pets Award celebrates the love and happiness that animals brings to our life. I remember the joy and happiness I felt when my last dog left my life. His name was Trevor, and he was a lowlife who ran off with Shanice. And that girl had that budget weave from Lidl's, honestly. I'm not bitter though. I'm not bitter. Sorry, Michelle. I was talking about, let's get back into it.
Joy of pets. Joy of pets.
Sorry. Sometimes it just, when you just feel it. Anyway, Joy of Pets, bringing love and happiness. Now, our winner is a dog who does just that, but only after overcoming unbelievable challenges just to survive in the first place.
Hiya, my name's Casey Carlin, and this is my little dog, Maggie. Maggie came to me as my foster dog. I failed at fostering and very quickly adopted her. She's about 7 years old now. She's blind and sadly was once used as target practice.
Maggie really is a truly remarkable dog. As a therapy dog, she loves bringing comfort to others, but it's a miracle she is here at all. She was left blind, missing an ear, and riddled with shrapnel after being abused in her home in Lebanon.
The first time I saw Maggie was a picture of her chained to a box. And then 6 days later, I was meeting her.
But against all odds, Maggie pulled through. When she needed a forever home in the UK, Casey Carlin stepped in.
She just shocked me because she'd been through so much. And the first thing she did, because she didn't know me, after being on that plane all that time, was to come over and just nuzzle her head into me. So I knew then that I loved her. My presumption, which was completely incorrect, was that because she's blind, she's gonna want a quiet life and just live in a retirement home, and that was not her, and she made that very clear.
Despite the harm done to her by humans, Maggie loves interacting with people, including care homes, where she's a regular visitor. As Casey says, Maggie has made a huge impact on her life. Inspired by the amazing bond, Casey has set up her own charity, Wonder Dogs, to rehome other dogs deemed too damaged for adoption.
So we open our home to all types. We've had rescued crows, rescued kittens, rescued dogs. So we now share, every corner of the house is filled with a dog bed. We began getting contacted a lot about dogs with disabilities and with differences, and there's just no place for them. If they're happy and pain-free and they want to enjoy a good life, then they shouldn't have to be left behind just because they're different. Depending on the dog, we'll have bandage changes, we have paralyzed dogs, we have to help them go to the loo. It just depends on who's living with us at the time. Despite that, we've successfully rehomed quite a few animals, and we haven't had any returned yet, so I feel like we're doing a halfway decent job in that sense. I don't think I'd be able to explain how Maggie's changed my life. She's changed in every single way for the good. Just want to spend the rest of our years happily together. Not got any big plans, we just want to enjoy each other's company, I think.
Oh.
Please welcome to the stage Maggie and our owner Casey.
Someone get me some tissues.
Don't set us off again. Somebody get us some tissues.
No, it's okay, I'm good.
Oh, Maggie's just amazing, isn't she?
Yeah, she's 1 in a million.
What if you could find two words to describe Maggie? What would they be?
Well, right now she's shedding season. Those are the words I'd use. Probably shouldn't have worn black with a blonde
It's
dog.
all right.
She's just pure love.
What would you say to people who's thinking about actually, no, I want my home to be open to a dog like this?
Choose a dog on if they're right for you, not on how they look.
Yeah.
Everyone chooses pretty fluffy dogs, but they might not be right for you. Just choose the dog on their personality and what you can offer each other.
Yeah.
I don't know who rescued who here, actually. I think it seems she's done quite a bit for you as well, hasn't she?
Definitely. Yeah.
Oh, Maggie, you're a star.
I know. I think we can safely say that she's won us all over. So it's time to present her award.
It's very time. It is time to present the Gorgeous Girl Winner Award. Michelle, who's going to be doing the honours?
We've got wildlife author and presenter Patrick Airy, and from Goodness Gracious Me, EastEnders, Bend It Like Beckham, Strictly, and so much more. It's the fabulous Nina Wadio.
You're right.
How you doing, Maggie? You all right? Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here with you all at the People's Pet Awards. Casey, I've got to say I'm in absolute awe of yourself and, of course, Maggie. Nina, I don't know about you, but when I first heard of Maggie's story, I did shed a couple of tears because it's a story that's both heartbreaking, but also, she's here, super heartwarming.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got to say, Casey, for every horrible, cruel human being there is in the world, you are just the kind, generous, warm-hearted foster mum that animals need. Yep. So thank you for everything you do. This is for you, and this is for Maggie. May I say hello? Hello, Maggie. Aww. Aren't you beautiful?
Thank you, Patrick and Nina, Casey, and of course, Maggie. Put it out.
Our next winner is a dog who has forged a friendship with a little girl that would melt anyone's heart.
I desperately wanted a girl, didn't I? Yeah. It's all boys in the house, and then Sophia came along 2014. It was a normal pregnancy, really excited to finally have a little girl I always wanted. Within hours of her being born, she was whisked away to special baby unit where she was put on life support because she was having seizures. She had a big MRI done and they found out she had a huge stroke. Causes unknown. Told if she did make it, she would probably never walk, talk. Well, on 2 weeks later, she started pulling through. The seizures were under control.
Since then, Sophia has battled further seizures and lost her sight, but she amazes everyone with her remarkable zest for life. Things aren't always easy, but for the past 2 years, she's been helped and supported by her best friend and constant companion, the amazing Matilda.
The minute we brought Matilda home, even for being a tiny puppy, she just was drawn to Sophia.
Just lay on her straight away.
The nicest part, I think, having Matilda in her life, it's given Sophia that confidence that we finally get to know that personality. So she's not as reserved, and, you know, that sort of cheeky, sort of funny side of her personality is coming out a bit more because she's more relaxed.
She does have a cheeky,
you know,
funny side.
yeah.
Like, before she met Matilda, like, she had no one to, like, keep her company and all that, but, like, Matilda's, like, her best friend.
She's never been trained to alert for stuff. When Sophia has a seizure, Matilda will make a fuss around her and she'll let us know that she's going to go down. When she notices she's having a meltdown or she's getting upset, she'll just instantly go and put her head on her lap. Sophia says in her own way, she says Matilda's her best friend. When she gets upset, she asks for Matilda and Matilda just goes running over. And Matilda is just, she's just amazing. I couldn't ever imagine her not being in our lives, and we're just very fortunate to have found such an amazing little dog.
I love her 1,000 because she helps me when I'm sad or feeling upset, and she always comes and checks me, and if I'm having a seizure, she always comes and sees. She always comes and gets me and always checking on me. She is so brave, and we love Matilda so much.
You're the best sister in the entire world. Like, you're so brave. The fact that you've gone through all that and you're still, like, happy and Matilda. Without you, I don't know what it would be like.
Please give it up for Sophia, her mum Sarah, and our winner Matilda.
Hello, 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 Sophia, hello. Oh, look at you, Matilda. I mean, how has Matilda, you know, made your family get closer together, Sophia?
What do you want to say about Matilda?
I love her so much, and she's my best friend.
Oh, she's gorgeous. Mum, what does this award mean for you?
Everything. She's just changed our lives for the better.
Oh, it's so sweet. And what about your sister? What do you think about Matilda?
I love her so much.
Oh, can I come home with you guys?
Please welcome actress, singer and presenter Natalie Anderson and West End and Coronation Street star Jodie Prenger.
Oh, can I give you all?
Oh, this is such a joy to give this to you guys. Jodie and I have been a mess over there. We've been absolutely crying our eyes out, and I got to spend a little bit of time with Matilda just down there. And Sophia, I might have to say she's my best friend now. She's an absolutely beautiful, caring, lovely, lovely dog, and it's just such a pleasure to give this award to you guys as a family. And I know, well,
it's just amazing. I'm bawling it. I can't even watch Free Willy. I'm really that bad. But
don't set Judy off.
But it's true, you know, there's angels that watch over us, but there's angels that walk the earth, and just, it's amazing. So sorry, I'm gone.
Congratulations to you all.
Before you leave the stage, Sarah, we've not heard from you. How proud are you of your lovely son who spoke so eloquently and your amazing kids?
I'm proud.
They're all amazing, aren't they? Well done, Matilda. Thank you, Natalie and Jodie and Sophia.
Oh, no.
She's gorgeous.
Come on, give her a round of applause.
Right, we've already heard so much tonight about how loving and having animals in our life can make us happier and healthier. In some cases, they can give you a brighter future too. Up next is an amazing story of horses, school kids, and the magic that happens when some very special people bring them all together.
My name is Bridget Griffin, and I am the chair of the board of directors here at Park Palace Ponies, which is an inner city horse riding school which was set up in 2017 to bring sort of the benefits, both physical and mental, that ponies and horses can bring to the inner city children of Liverpool. There is a massive gap with access to horses and ponies, so people who live in the inner city especially, they can't access the sport at the moment because riding schools are being pushed further and further out into sort of rural communities. So actually, in order for those inner city kids to reap those benefits, riding schools need to come back into the inner city, which is what we've tried to do.
And it's like a really good friendship here. We build a big family and we make sure everyone gets involved and everyone like works together as a team. And like being with the ponies themselves, it gives them like a nicer feeling inside.
Some kids who can't ride, they can just come here and they can learn how to ride. We have to like look after the ponies, we have to make sure that we're keeping them safe.
Nice to get them, as you say, away from the TV and off the tablets and actually seeing there's other things outside. There's not much like this anywhere near where we live. Obviously we're from Liverpool and normally you have to travel out of the city to get something like this. And it's obviously good to have the community doing this type of thing.
Lots of children will come to us that have literally never seen a horse, a pony, a cow, even in some cases. You know, they meet a horse for the first time, they meet one of our ponies, and they can be quite intimidating, really. You know, they're big, even the small ones. As time sort of progresses, you watch them build a relationship and build trust with that pony, and actually they become best friends. And we've had riders who've ridden with us and have now been with us volunteering for sort of 5 years, and watching them grow in their own self-confidence with the ponies has been amazing.
I've seen children who are extremely anxious and someone will slowly talk them through. I've seen children who don't want to go even just up the steps to mount, and someone will just take the time and help them up and explain to them that there's nothing to be anxious about, and then to see them at the end of the ride happy to trot around it is brilliant.
You know, it's pretty beautiful. We like to think it's kind of like the Spanish riding school of the dingle, albeit, you know, slightly rough around the edges, but we like it that way. It is magical to see the kids build bonds with these ponies, and to lots of people it's still a novelty and it's still, you know, a posh people's sport, but we're breaking down those barriers and that is not the case. And there's no reason why riders that come to learn here in the middle of Toxteth can go on and actually become, you know, Olympic riders.
Can I just say, this is absolutely amazing, because when I was growing up, things have changed. When I was growing up in Hackney, if we saw a horse outside the block, it meant there was a riot going on. Do you know what I mean? I'm here for this new life.
Not the same anymore. From Park Palace Ponies, please welcome Bridget Griffiths and fellow director Kate Ellis-Carrig.
Oh, you're looking stunning, ladies.
Oh,
absolutely stunning. What does it mean to be here and receiving this award?
I mean, it's amazing. Obviously, on behalf of Park Palace Ponies, you know, the two of us are here, but it's a whole team effort that it takes to make Park Palace Ponies happen. So we're just thankful to everyone that's helped us along the way.
And from your point of view, obviously you get these kids really young, you see them progress and go through, and then what happens next? Where do they go after that?
So excitingly, we've actually just managed to crowdfund for a new riding school. So Park Palace Ponies is a walk-trot riding school, and it's a starter school, but we're opening a brand new one just around the corner, which is going to be bigger and better. So people want to help donate, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a big dream that we've had, that we want to make sure that people can progress in the sport, because a lot of people have the perception that it's for rich people, and we don't want that anymore.
No, definitely not. Definitely. You know, what are the ages that you work with? Because they do say early, you know, intervention is great. What kind of ages?
So at the moment we do lessons from age 4 to 10, but our volunteer base goes all the way from sort of 4 right the way up to 80s, I'd say. And our new riding school will offer lessons from 4 sort of onwards throughout the adult life. So we, you know, encourage anyone to get involved. It's never too late to learn to ride. You should
No,
do it.
it's not.
It's very good for you.
Judy?
Yes.
Get you down there for a bit of lessons?
I do. These knees are not good. I do need some help. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, you know, young people are coming in, you're trying to help the area and so on. But I guess as well, it's another way to find talent from the young people.
Yeah, I guess, you know, obviously for us, Liverpool is famous for being, you know, having the Grand National and things like that. You know, we'd love to see someone from our local area, the Dingle, go on to be a successful equestrian athlete. There's no reason why they can't, and we've kind of given them that little leg up, if you like, to get them there. So hopefully, no pressure to any of them, but they'll deliver.
I've got to be real with you. The last time I got on a horse, well, it was in Jamaica. I thought it was a horse, but actually I think it was a donkey. It sank in the sand. But anyway, we can have that conversation later. Listen, Michelle, who's going to be giving this amazing award?
Well, to present your award, we have two people who know the incredible impact horses can have on our lives. Please welcome Love Island's latest star, Gemma Owen, and 6-time equestrian Paralympic champion, Natasha Baker.
Ooh.
Well done. You know, we know the impact all too well that horses have made on our lives, and we've been very lucky to be brought up around horses. And I started a riding school very much like yours, and what you're doing to these inner city children and the opportunities that you're giving them are just unbelievable. And hopefully we will see somebody in the Olympics soon. You know, LA is not too far away.
Yeah, no, I'd just like to say, as a rider up myself, I think it is really inspiring what you're doing, and congratulations. It's really incredible.
Well done. Thank you, Gemma, Natasha, and to Bridget and Kate, and the whole wonderful team at Park Palace Ponies.
Woo! Right, our next award goes to someone who sums up exactly what these awards are all about. She had a brilliant idea to help elderly people facing isolation and loneliness with a little help from some adorable four-legged friends. I'm not elderly, but my God, this single desert life has been hard. So please, I wouldn't mind having help from them too.
Where dogs are concerned, they give so much love.
I don't really have friends here, and we just know one another. She knows me and I know her.
I'm passionate about animals and I'm passionate about older people, and it was, how can I do something that means something to me but will also be meaningful for others?
Louise Russell is tackling the loneliness crisis among the elderly by offering isolated older people companionship with unwanted and abandoned dogs.
That human-animal connection is really quite magical. The person gets a friend, but the animal gets a home.
Around 200,000 people in Scotland go for days at a time without speaking to a single person.
I met a neighbour on the street and she said, "Thank you so much for stopping to talk to me, Louise, because I've not spoke to anybody since Friday." It made me realise it's really important that we make the effort to reach out to people.
Louise decided to set up her charity, Give a Dog a Bone, which helps lonely older people to be able to afford and look after a rescue pet. She's set up spaces where the elderly and isolated can meet new friends and spend time with the resident companionship dogs.
Not long after my darling wife was taken into care, I had a walk along the street, and lo and behold, there was this big window. When I looked in, it was all about dogs.
Everybody's friendly and the dogs are brilliant.
Even lockdown didn't stop Louise and her team reaching out to help.
Because of the beautiful phone calls I got, to know that somebody cared, it was so heartwarming. Louise is the hero to a lot of people. Louise has got such a heart of compassion, concern, and an overflowing love.
Louise, congratulations. You're amazing. Well done.
Hi, Louise. Congratulations on this award and on the great work you're doing for both the older community and animals. They all need our help.
Please welcome the wonderful Louise Russell.
Hello. Oh, it's, you know, from my background of being a social worker, definitely I know that elderly people and animals are some of the most neglected, people in the UK. What does it feel like when you see the work that you've done and how combining the two is making such an impact on people's and animals' lives?
I think for me it's just a win-win. The animal gets a home, but the person gets a friend. I think when you get older, you don't really realise, your children grow up, you've retired potentially, you've kind of lost a bit of who you are as a person. And to have an animal, whether it be a cat or a dog, just, it's a companion, especially if maybe you've lost a partner and you find yourself alone. So it gives you a reason to get up in the morning, gives you a routine in your day, and really just gives you, it's about companionship. That's what we do. We support older adults. to have companionship through animals.
And amazing the other way round as well, because it's a completely symbiotic relationship, isn't it?
Absolutely. You find that they're just a unique bond. You know yourself if you're an animal lover. I'm an animal lover. That's why I'm doing this. That's why this is amazing to have an award ceremony with so many dogs. But it just gives them a new lease of life. And you find that, I think somebody said it earlier on, animals are just such healers, and it just gives people a reason to be. So yeah, it's an absolute joy. I mean, to see older adults come alive again because they've got new purpose, a new reason for being, and then the animal, gets a happy ever after. You can't beat it, really.
Definitely. I know people are worried about winter coming in, especially with whole financial crisis. And what will you be doing to help in throughout this period?
So we have pet food banks at each of our 3 community spaces in Scotland. At our community spaces, we have free activities, free tea, free coffee. Older adults come in already, and that's before the cost of living crisis. So I think it's going to be more heavily relied on going forward. So we're already doing that work. What we've realised over the years is, older adults, they might love animals, but they might, for whatever reason, not be able to have one. Maybe they're not mobile enough. Maybe they've moved into sheltered accommodation, they're not allowed one. So they can come into us, and we've got a special team of companionship dogs. So they come into us, and it's like they get to scratch their doggy itch, and it's like babysitting. They don't have any responsibility, but they can come in and spend time with the doggies and leave happier. So that's what we're doing.
Louise, that is absolutely amazing. I think it's time for us to find out who's going to give you awards, because you deserve it.
Oh, that's so amazing. To present your award, we've got a pair of true British icons and animal lovers. It's John Craven and Patsy Kensit.
Good evening. Louise, I mean, you're such an inspiration, and what a humbling, wonderful thing that you've done and are doing. And I can relate, because I've got empty nest syndrome at the minute. Both my boys have moved out, and our cat, it rules our world. And without Bowie, the cat, I don't know what I would have done. And he knows when I'm having a bad day. He knows when things are good. And I just honour you and everyone out there that knows how much animals mean to us and how beautiful they are.
Yeah. I mean, what a wonderfully simple, effective idea, Louise. Putting together dogs that desperately need some love and affection with older people. And we know how many of those are around in this country, lonely, alone, putting together with a dog, which will give them great love and affection for the rest of its lives. I mean, you're not just rescuing dogs, you're rescuing older people as well. It's a fantastic job. Well done.
Well done. Well done. So, can we all give it up for the honestly inspiring and amazing Louise and Patsy Kensit and John Craven?
Louise.
Wow. Too many people judge some dogs' breed unfairly. I've done it myself with men. Turn out skinny guys are actually quite energetic. Anyway, and loyal. They're quite loyal, maybe because they get stuck behind you. But anyway, that's another story. And they're good at fetching. They really are, really are. This prejudging is something owners of a Staffordshire Bull Terrier knows all too well. Our Dogs Trust Dog of the Year is a staff who is leading the battle to change the hearts and minds.
So, hello, I'm Amelia Jane Piper, and this is Max, the ambassador for Staffies. He's also the ambassador for the Senior Staffy Club, and he's 12 years old, and he's a rescue dog. So Max was rescued from a life of torture when he was only 8 months old, and his rescuers described it as one of the most horrific scenes they'd ever visited. So I think over the years you go through different breeds of dogs that are victimised for being vicious. But at the moment, and for a very long time, it's been the Staffy breed. And he's actually has been subjected to fear and trepidation when approaching. People will avoid him and make a wide berth around him. We've even had people approach us and say, is that Staffy? And we've said, yes, he's a Staffy. He's a Staffy. And they've said, oh, well, you need to have that put down. Staffies, you can't have a Staffy, it's vicious.
As he settled into his new life, Max's loving nature helped him form a close bond with Amelia's sister Rachel, becoming her personal assistance dog. Amelia set up a Facebook group to introduce people to Max and challenge people's ideas around Staffies. It was an instant hit with owners and people who loved finding out more about this misunderstood breed.
When we were contacted by Amelia about the work she was doing with Max, we were delighted that Max could be an ambassador for us for Senior Staffy Club. Since then, Max has promoted our social media posts and our dogs that need new homes and has done fundraising for us. Max and Amelia are an inspiration to Staffies everywhere and to the people helping them.
Hi Max, it's Claire and please dog Stella the Staffy. Congratulations on being an incredible ambassador for Staffies all over the United Kingdom. You're an amazing dog that's come so far from being rescued from a horrible start to life. You're now living the best life and showing how incredible Staffordshire Bull Terriers can be with the correct owners. Thank you so much for all you're doing.
We've always had rescue dogs, and Max has to be the most placid dog you could come across. We refer to him as a big, large teddy bear because he's such a caring, natured and gentle dog.
No bad dogs, only bad owners. Here he is with his owner, Amelia. It's Max the Staffy.
Hello. I mean, can we just get it out of the way, Amelia? That suit, oh my gosh, it's absolutely lovely. Was it made specially for him?
No, he looks very formal in it, though.
Pardon me?
He looks very formal in it.
He looks lovely in it. You know, I mean, some of the stuff you talked about is definitely about the challenges or the perception people have of stuff. What things would you like to challenge against people's perceptions?
Well, the fact that people think Staffies are a vicious breed.
Yeah.
When obviously, you know, if anybody who's met Max tonight can see that he is the true Staffy.
Yeah.
He is the nanny dog that Staffies used to be called. You know, because of their caring nature with children. But, you know, Max's caring nature goes with everyone, whether it be my disabled sister or our blind dog who we lost a few years ago, or our little dog Milo, who we lost quite recently, who had heart and lung disease. He was great support to him following his heart surgery. So Max is caring to all, whether that be human or animal.
And we know your sister and Max has quite a special bond. You know, how does it make you feel when you see their bond?
It's delightful to see. He brings so much to all of our lives. And, you know, he's also challenging, like I said, this misconception of Staffies. You know, and being the ambassador for Senior Staffy Club as well, he's also helping to get senior Staffies who are much overlooked, not just because of their age, but because of their breed. He's helping them to get homes by people seeing what a true Staffy he is.
He's absolutely lovely. And that's why he's been awarded. I mean, Michelle, honestly, who's going to give Max a lovely trophy?
Well, I am absolutely delighted to welcome TOWIE star and dedicated animal welfare campaigner, Pete Wicks, and from Good Morning Britain and Classic FM, Charlotte Hawkins.
I'm a massive Staffy fan myself. I grew up with Staffies, so I know what a wonderful breed they are. And also to yourself, honestly, there's no bigger privilege in life than giving a voice to a victimised breed, in my opinion, like Staffies. So well done, both of you. And also, the best dressed man here by far.
Definitely.
Wow, come on, a round of applause.
That is... Yeah, so I just wanted to echo that, and a huge congratulations, because we all know, you know, Staffies have got a bad name, unfairly so. If you look at the dog rescue pages, sadly, it's Staffy after Staffy, isn't it? And I think if people really appreciated what lovely, beautiful, caring dogs they are, then that would be very different. So well done to you. And Max, well done to you for flying the flags for Staffies everywhere. Congratulations. Here's your award. Well done.
Thank you. Let's give it up for Charlotte, Pete, and of course, most importantly, Amelia and Max.
Woo! I was going to say we should have an award for Pete's hair. Did you see the flick? I know you saw the flick. You saw the flick. I was like, do you know how good he smells? I was like, I weren't hungry, but I am now. Let me get myself together. Oh, let's get off our chest. He is gorgeous, isn't he? He is. He is. Oh, I just wanted to put my face in his neck. Is that too much?
Stop now, move on.
Anyway, now here's something I know all about. Internet sensation. No, not that sort of internet sensation, Michelle, you naughty girl. Well, unless I was looking at Pete. Anyway, this is an award for an animal who took social media by storm. I know we battle about whether the internet is used too much or too little, but in this case, it's never too little.
Our winner showed us just how much empathy a dog can have with humans. He gave millions of people all over the world a glimpse of that love and companionship, and the very special way dogs can show us they care. Take a look at the screen to find out how.
When I was getting used to my crutches and the plaster, I didn't take much notice of Bill. Not that I didn't want to, I was just concentrating on getting around, so I didn't notice nothing until Michelle had said something. If you look at it, it's a very over-exaggerated limp.
The loyal dog copied his owner's limp in a remarkable and heartwarming act of empathy. Worried Russell and Michelle took him to the vet for a checkup, but Tess found nothing wrong, and when Russell was not around, Billy was his usual energetic self. He was simply showing Russell how much he cared.
If he was out in the garden with me, or if I took him for a walk, he seemed to be fine. He didn't seem to have any problems at all.
The incredible clip of Billy limping along with Russell went viral, delighting millions of animal lovers all over the world. Billy's internet fame is a wonderful legacy for a truly wonderful dog.
Aww. To tell us a bit more about his special boy, Billy, please welcome Russell Jones and partner Michelle Colgate. Aww. Stand here, face everyone so they can see your lovely faces. So talk us through it. You're on crutches, and Billy starts limping. What did you actually think?
Well, I broke my ankle, came home, and thought nothing of it. But I was hobbling around the house, and Michelle said, "Oh, I think we better take Billy to the vet. He's hobbling." I said, "Oh no, I can't be doing that now. I'm not working." So anyway, he hobbled. She said, "We've got to take him to the vet." And lo and behold, he was fine. We took him there, X-rays, scans. There's nothing. He walked in normally, came out normally, and we came home, jumped out of the car, and started hobbling again.
Did he ever copy you after you've had a drink? Did he ever?
No. I wish he did. No.
What were you thinking that when he's then racing around the garden when he's with you?
What a cheeky little what's-it he was.
It cost us a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I love him.
Oh, now, Billy's. When you came up, then you were all emotional, and everybody there's probably thinking, "Well, why? He's not with us here tonight, Billy, is he?"
No, he. In March, we found out it took. It was weeks, and he got lung cancer, and we had to say goodbye. And it really. Sorry, I'm come prepared, but it's one of those things. He loved us and we love him, and this means so much. And it's just, we know that his memory's going to live on now.
And it will. And every time you look at that award, you can just think about him and the amazing bond that you had together.
He's an amazing dog. He was beautiful.
He's our boy.
Yeah.
Well, that took a turn, didn't it? Anyone else crying or just me?
Well, you know what? He's an internet sensation, and we feel the love and the fact that our animals can have that sympathy and compassion and that connection. If no one didn't believe it before we see it, it is so real, and it's so real in your emotions.
I notice it until it's gone.
Yeah. But he's always with you in your heart.
Yeah.
Always limping in your heart. Oh. Was that too soon? No.
Oh.
He would understand. Okay, so trophy time. Come on, Michelle. Tell us who's doing the thing, announcing.
Oh, good luck with this one. I hope you're feeling better than I am. It's YouTube star and Strictly Sensation Saffron Barker and actor and dog lover Danny Hatchard.
Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. Hello, how are you doing? Pleased to meet you. I know what it's like to lose a dog. It's horrendous. I don't want to get
It's really, really sad, right? But I do want to say that Billy obviously hasn't taught you a bunch of things. You've gone off on this wonderful journey, haven't you? You've been on this morning. You've met all sorts of people because of it. How has it made you feel?
Oh, it's made us sort of... I love him, and it's made us... We're never going to forget him. I can't tell you how it's going to make us feel, because it's one of those things you just... We've lost him, and we just... This has made us everything, you know? This is the end. And it's just fantastic, just the forever memory. And he's my boy. He's our boy.
Aww. Of course he is.
Honestly, you should be so proud. He's won the heart of the nation, and we're just so happy to be here presenting this award for you.
Thank you so much. Please, huge round of applause.
This next one is something else. It's a remarkable story that shows just how animals can help our health and well-being.
Hello, I'm Isabel Staffy, and I'm the proud guardian of Mr. London Meow. That's... wow. I was looking for interesting things to do with my cat in my spare time, and we came across Pets Therapy, and we were quite blessed to find this opportunity to team up with the Butts Trust at the Royal London Hospital for us to come and visit and to bring some joy to our patients.
So one of our jobs as volunteers, as volunteer managers, is to find creative ways that we can improve the patient experience. We have lots of dogs that come in and visit, but Isabel contacted me and said, what about a cat? What about, I've got Mr. London Meow. Would we be able to entertain in the hospital? And, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. And, of course, we made it possible. And Mr. London Meow has been with us ever since.
To our patients, because some of them had pets when they were younger, and they may be suffering with dementia, memory loss, and just seeing the cat just animates them, brightens them, their face, and they just feel like a different person. It's just wonderful to see the reaction when they're petting the cats. Yeah, it just really does. Someone could be distressed, and then they'll come and the cat will come and meet with them, and they'll just feel much, much happier. It's nice working in an environment where the patients are happy, then the staff are happy too, and you've made such a difference.
Whenever you're summing up Pets Therapy, it's about that relationship between their owner and the cat, and I could see instantaneously when I met Isabel that there was a very strong connection, and the reception was just amazing. I mean, it was incredible, and I think people were just so bemused to see a cat.
Quite a few patients that aren't able to communicate very well. They may be suffering with dementia or a cognitive impairment, and they don't talk. And when they just have the cat meet with them, they're able then to communicate and to remember past times and good times, and it just makes such a difference to their lives.
It's a cliche, but you come out of every single session with volunteering with your heart just full. So I would strongly recommend to give it a go.
Judy looked at me then and looked around at all the dogs in the room and went, he's not here, is he? We did consider it, but decided against it. So please just welcome Mr. London Meow's guardian, Isabel Seraphim.
Isabel, you know, I wanted to say to you personally, off script, I lost my mum to dementia.
Oh.
So seeing the work that you've done it really gets me emotionally, because I wish I'd known about something like this, because people who have had anyone suffer with dementia, you know, those little moments where they can remember things or feel like they're self or feel connected to someone is so important. So I just personally wanted to say thank you again.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you. And you're absolutely right. That's one of the things that Mr. London Meow has, the capability that every time that we visit the hospital.
Yeah.
So Butts Trust has been very generous to welcome us with open arms and understand how powerful it is, the presence of a pet in the situation that is not possibly the happiest in your life. And every time we go to the hospital, we always take that person back to a happy moment. So we learn a lot about their pets, about their cats, about their dogs, and it's always a way to escape of something that is not as positive in your life, and that is the power of what we do with Mr. London Meow and Pets Therapy.
And what, even if it's someone who hasn't had a pet before, how do you suggest that this is still some way of getting some form of therapy and that moment of connection and just peace of mind?
Pets have healing powers, and all in this room, we know this. That's why we're here, because pets bring something to our lives that people that don't have pets, they can't explain. But once you're touched by one of the paws, you're marked for life, isn't it?
Now, I wanted to ask you about something. We go on holidays. You go on holidays.
Yes,
What do you go on, Isabel?
I go on Meowly days. That's what I do. So yes, I have a very gentle cat, as you all admit. But I don't forget that he's a cat, and he also has his pampered ways. And we go on Meowly days, and we go abroad. I'm Portuguese. He also is Portuguese now. He also has a Portuguese passport now.
Oh, wow.
And we go very often abroad, and he always goes with me, and he travels in style, so yes.
Oh, he's international.
He has his suitcase. He always complains that he's not big enough to take his outfits because he has plenty of bow ties and shirts. And his fan club always complains about the same, that he needs a bigger suitcase, he has his passport, and he's pampered and spoiled as he should be because of all the good work that he does.
I love it. I need to step up my parent game with my bells.
I know, she's going to be leaving home, moving in with Isabel.
I mean,
happening.
She needs a Jamaican passport. She can twerk her way on that plane. I'm telling you, that was... But listen, right, Michelle, who's bringing the bling to make all of this...
Please welcome world and Paralympic champion Lauren Steadman, and from the chase, the vixen herself, Jenny Ryan.
Congratulations. Well done.
Wow, I'm so impressed by Mr. London. He's such a stylish lad and a much maligned type of cat. I'm a black cat owner, and to see him out there doing such great work and being just such a soothing presence for patients and staff while looking super dapper, what a man, what a cat, very well deserving of this award.
Oh, I 100% agree, but I actually want to say thank you to you, because you're the one that takes him in, you're the one that's dressed him up so beautifully and given him the personality to go and help those people. So it's a team effort, so thank you to you as well.
I appreciate that. But as you know, when you are guardian of a cat, it's all about the cat. We just start. Thank you.
That is so true. If you've got a cat, you know you are owned by them.
Can I just ask, does anyone else's cat stands and watch them naked in the shower?
And
that was just my cat.
Moving on, let's hand over the trophy, perhaps.
Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Lauren and Jenny and Isabel. The Russian invasion of Ukraine in February was one of the darkest days in European history since the Second World War. But amid the tragedy and sadness, there have been moments that really lifted our hearts and inspired us all. Our next winner is one of those beacons of hope amid the horrors of war.
Ukrainians woke up to find themselves plunged into the midst of war. Explosions and air raid sirens ringing out here in Kyiv and cities across this country as Russia launched a full-scale invasion on multiple fronts in the early hours of this morning.
When Russia invaded Ukraine in February, it was the beginning of the biggest humanitarian crisis in Europe since the Second World War. Many of those who fled for their lives had to make the heartbreaking decision to leave their pets behind. One organisation was determined to help, and what followed was one of the largest and most dangerous animal rescue efforts in history. Breaking the Chains was set up in 2020 to help rescue dogs around the world. When Russia invaded Ukraine, founder Tom, a former British Army soldier, mobilised fellow veterans to care for forgotten animal victims of the war. As well as rescuing animals, they work with charities to resupply and rebuild shelters and reunite pets with their families. The team has saved thousands of animals, including horses, lions, bears, wolves, and chimpanzees. Thanks to breaking the chains, there are now glimpses of hope amid the horrors of war.
Please welcome from Breaking the Chains, Tom and Gaz. You stand next to me, Gaz.
Wow.
Look forward so everyone can see you.
Wow. Honestly, it's an honour having you here. Look, we're so happy to have you here. When did you get back from Ukraine?
We arrived back in the UK about a week ago, wasn't it?
Well, we're going back tomorrow, so...
You're going back tomorrow? Yeah. Really? And how do you feel about this award? What does it mean to you?
So the one thing I'd like to point out massively now for everyone is we're used to this environment. So we've both got many years of experience in the British Army. We've served in every major conflict zone for the last 20 years. However, the people that don't have that experience are our volunteers that come out. We do stuff on the ground, go into conflict areas, but they stay in Ukraine and they look after our animals that we rescue. And they're a massive part of breaking the chains, and they're our heroes, those volunteers that come out and take care of the animals that we rescue.
Gaz, I was one of those people here watching it all kick off on Facebook, saw you guys going in there and saw lots of posts where people saying, these dogs have been left, can anyone go and get them? It was behind enemy lines, nobody would go. The same with some of the zoos, and then I saw you guys going. How scary was that?
It's still scary now. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say when we go in we don't put ourselves in danger, because every time we leave our compound and go over to the east, we've got bombs dropping around us all the time. We've had Russian jets chasing us down the road. I worked with Tom for 18 years in the military, and then Tom was doing his thing. I was doing some private security on some yachts. I was back on sort of on holiday, and Tom called me and said, "Yeah, you're back in the UK?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Can you give us a hand for a couple of weeks?" That was back in March, and I'm still there now. So.
And are you still friends with him? You're there having the life of Riley on a yacht, and he drags you off to get bombed in Ukraine.
What am I doing? But no, it's worth it. You know, the animals, we've saved over 4,000 animals now. We've got our own shelter up and running in Ukraine. We'll be there until the end, until we can't operate no more. What I will say is we're desperate for food at the moment, because we're trying to get food into the east, ready for the winter, so we can feed all the animals.
Did you hear that, Tony Webbox?
So anything.
Where is he? Tony, did you hear that? Anything you want to say?
Oh.
Going to help him out with a bit of food, Tony? There you go.
Oh, that'd be wonderful, thank you.
Tony from Weddox.
He's got one for you.
So one of the things with Ukraine is a lot of people now, because it's taken away from the media attention, it's not getting any better, it's getting worse. And the reason why it's getting worse is animals that were abandoned 6 months ago and left on the streets in the villages in the conflict areas, they've been breeding. The more they breed, and obviously it continues that cycle. So you can end up with a village that had 50 animals in that in 6 months' time will have 5,000, 6,000 animals in. In 2 years' time, it's going to have 20,000, 30,000 animals in. We need to get into those areas with this food, with these supplies, obviously with all the medication, vaccines, and then we need to start spaying and neutering these animals as well. So please, not just towards to any organisation working in Ukraine, if you can support them, encourage them, then please do. That's any organisation, because it's just going to get worse.
Wow. I mean, honestly, thank you for all that you're doing and all the more that you're doing, especially that you're going back tomorrow. It's absolutely phenomenal what you've done and what you are doing and bringing awareness to us. Two of our judges are here to present your award. They are also two of the finest actors, as well as two of our most powerful animal welfare campaigns. Please welcome the wonderful Leslie Nicole and Peter Egan.
Hi, everyone. I was just thinking, standing out there before we came on, congratulations, you guys. It's fantastic what you're doing. It's good to be in a room that celebrates compassion and kindness and empathy. And that's what all of these awards mean. They bring out the best in human beings. And I'm really glad to be here tonight to remember this with all of you.
I'm a bit gobsmacked by what you two do, honestly, and your team, because who could do that? This is a room full of massive animal lovers. We all love animals, but we couldn't begin to do what you do. Thank you so, so much for getting in there and doing what you do. Bless you.
Thank you, Gaz and Tom, and the amazing Peter and Leslie.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. You're all right there, Judy. He's not going back till tomorrow.
No, all I was thinking is I know who to call when I need to get maintenance from my baby daddy. I mean, these two will go in and get it for me, definitely, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, we've all had that moment of panic when we lose sight of our dog for a few minutes on a walk.
Our next winner was lost down in a deep crevice for 34 hours. Reminded me when I lost my keys in my sports bra last week. Anyway, our winner, some real-life heroes stepped up.
Leah Davis was walking her brother Dane's spaniel, Reggie, in a forest last winter when the dog slipped and fell 10 feet into a hidden crevice.
So it started as any normal day would have. It was my day off work, so I decided to take Reggie for a walk up to the mountain just 10 minutes away from the house. Walking down a path that I was familiar with, really. He's sniffing along the edge, and then the next minute his bum was up in the air and he was down this humongous hole.
Leah was phoning, crying. He's gone down a crevice, so I had to then leave quickly, go and fetch you from work, and we literally bombed it to the mountain.
Down the hole where I could just see his eyes, and then there was just no way of me reaching him. It was just too deep. So my first point of call was to phone the fire brigade.
We were there from, say, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I think the fire brigade called it off about 12, saying there's nothing we can do now because it's too dark. It had started raining, cave rescue had come, and they couldn't get down there. We were basically told to leave the mountain and leave Reggie there.
With fire crews unable to resume their rescue until morning, Leah and Dane were left heartbroken at the thought of leaving Reggie distressed and crying alone overnight. In desperation, they turned to social media for help. 2 local drainage engineers spotted the message and raced over.
We wanted to try and we were just willing to do anything. It didn't matter how long we were there or what we tried. We was gonna get him out either way. We didn't want to leave without the dog coming out.
They used their specialist drain cameras to find exactly where Reggie was. It was great to see Reggie, but getting him out was never going to be easy.
The first time we saw him on the camera, he actually licked the camera as if to tell us he was all right. You know, that was lovely, wasn't it? Yeah. To see his face, but he was crying and that was heartbreaking.
The steep, narrow opening posed a huge challenge, but Neil and Harry weren't going to give up. They fashioned a noose to gently hook Reggie and pull him out.
So what we done, we got it down into place in front of Reggie, and it was just a matter of waiting game, man.
We were all working together. We knew when we had got him on the noose, it was the only way he was going to come out, and we knew we'd had 1 or 2 shots of it. And when he came out, the owners were in tears. They were just really happy to see the dog out, and it was a great feeling.
But the relief of him out is like winning the lottery, you know?
He's funny. He's brought a lot of joy to our family life.
He's completed
the family, yeah, he's amazing.
Definitely.
Please welcome on stage with Dane and Leah, it's Reggie and his rescuers.
Wow, I mean, Dane, how did it feel hearing Reggie crying and not being able to comfort him?
It was pretty surreal. Just to see him and just not get to him is you're helpless. But we got there. We got there as a team.
I mean, we talk about social media a lot, isn't it? We kind of go between whether it's good or it's not good, but that post brought these 2 amazing men to come and just, I mean, I don't want to cry, God. Reggie, I mean, when you saw that post, what was your initial thought?
Well, our manager rang us, and we just thought, well, I was eating my tea, and I thought, well, we're going to leave our house straight down, go and get his van, and we thought we'd get up there, go and get him out. And, well, that's when we went up there and met everyone. Fire service said, well, you're not getting him out, you're going home. No.
It was almost like not even a second thought to you. I mean, the feeling of being told that because it's getting dark and that possibly you wouldn't be able to carry on, you know, when they turned up, how did it make you feel that you knew that we were still going to go through this through the night?
Well, it was awful. I wanted to sleep up in the night.
It was just dreadful. I'm just glad, like, thanks to Harry and Neil, and just a massive thanks to the wider community who really pulled together and helped us to rescue Reggie. Without them, I think he'd be still down there.
Harry, what was you having for tea?
Now, funnily enough, talking about that, your local fish and chip shop even joined in, didn't they?
Wow. Really?
Yeah. So we had a local fish and chip shop. I think it's called the Chip Shop.
Northerner.
They were feeding us, so they were literally giving us sausage and chips to everyone. Reggie was even on some sausage and chips down the hall.
Reggie, you're living that good life. You know, before we present you with awards, Harry, when you finally got to that stage where he was rescued and Reggie was taken out, how did you feel?
Oh, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. Everybody was crying. It was just, I can't explain it. So when we went up there, it was like, we knew he was coming out. There was no matter. We weren't going to leave here without him. So.
Oh, well, thank goodness, because Reggie
is lovely.
As you can see, is amazing.
Well, you know what time it is? It's trophy time.
Well, to present your award, 2 actors with too many leading roles to mention, please welcome the fabulous Joe Joyner and Bonnie Langford.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is such an honour. What an amazing night we've had. We've had a roller coaster, and we started kind of with the worst of human nature, didn't we, with little Maggie? And we're kind of ending with the best of human nature. And what I love about this is we all know social media can be a really horrendous place sometimes, can't it? So it's nice to see it being used for the greater good, and for us humans to have a chance to give the unconditional love back to these animals that give us so much. I'm presenting 2. We've got 3 awards here. So these 2 are for our heroes, Neil and Harry. Congratulations. Woo! Who saved the day.
Woo! And I have... these awards are fantastic, actually, because this has got Reggie's name on it. But Reggie, you didn't half give everyone the runaround, didn't you? But it's just on such a day as well. It's so heartwarming, isn't it, to think that something turns out all right, and there's this wonderful little 4-legged creature here who's going to be none the wiser about any of this. And it's been a long old day. So I won't wait. Reggie, when you go out, don't say fetch to this, because it won't do you any good. But here is an award for Reggie to say well done on hanging on in there and getting out of that crack. Brilliant.
Thank you so much, Joe, Bonnie and Reggie and his rescuers.
Well done, everybody. Well done.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Many victims of domestic abuse are desperate to leave homes for their own safety, but simply cannot bear to leave their pets behind with their abusers. Our final winner is a survivor herself who has devoted her life to helping victims and their animal companions.
We all love our pets, but for some people, a lack of support or safe space for their animals can stop them leaving an abusive relationship. Mary Wakeham is tackling that problem head-on, providing practical help through her charity, Refuge for Pets.
I really was aware that how big a barrier animals are to survivors leaving, so to survivors escaping to safety, and also that animals are abused as part of the tactic of domestic abuse by perpetrators. So it all sort of stemmed from there, really. I've got my own experience of domestic abuse, so it's something very close to my heart. So it's gone from just me, out on the road, collecting animals, putting animals into foster placements, to we're a team of 7 today, so we're still a small team, but we're covering the whole of Devon and Cornwall. We have fostered we'll have fostered 500 animals by the end of this year.
5 years on, and the charity's work is more vital than ever. Mary and her team have helped hundreds of people, providing confidential, practical and emotional support when people need it most.
They come into us very nervous and very wary and unsettled. They need a lot of TLC, but by the time they go back to their owners, they're completely different animals.
So I originally heard about the service by the police, and obviously I was in a very bad place. As soon as obviously I heard about the Refuge for Pets, I instantly jumped on it. Obviously I just wanted better for us. So yeah, you know, worst comes to worst, like we all could have been dead.
So we get lots of calls from survivors of domestic abuse who want to make plans for their animals before they even start to think about themselves. So they prioritise, right, how am I going to get my animals into a safe place so that then I can then leave myself or with my children. So it's such a weight off their mind to know that they can escape from wherever they're coming from. We can take in their animals and that they're going to get lots of lovely updates, pictures, videos of their animals.
Funding is a very big issue, especially with our vet bills, because what many perpetrators will do, they will have full control over the finances, and they'll have full control over where their partner goes and what their partner does, and that includes vet trips. And the animals don't get the chance to see a vet when they need to, because it's a form of control that the perpetrator uses. So we end up with animals coming in that need veterinary treatment and need quite a lot of it.
For me, animals are victims of domestic abuse too. You know, we really need to raise awareness that animals are victims too. They're the silent victims, you know. They can't tell anyone, and often they're hidden, you know, so the abuse isn't apparent. You know, it's my role and my, I don't know what you would call it, goal is to just raise awareness. You know, we need justice for animals. We have to hold perpetrators to account. It's not okay.
Wow, so heartbreaking on so many different ways. Please welcome Refuge for Pets founder, Dr. Mary Wakeham.
Absolute honour. You know, I suppose what I want to ask over what's happened over these last few years. Have you seen a surge in you needing support and calls regarding, you know, cases of domestic violence and trying to save their pets?
It's been a really hard few years. You know, we've been going for 5 years now, and what we've experienced since the pandemic is there are more animals in households impacted by domestic abuse than ever before.
Wow.
We've seen the severity of abuse that families, including animals, have gone through has really escalated. We've seen a massive increase in where we have to get to animals sort of same day, next day. So it's been really challenging, but I accept this award on behalf of our whole team. So Shirley Westaway, one of our founding trustees, is in the audience. But we couldn't do this without our volunteers. I mean, the other winners have talked about this. We've got 150 volunteers across Devon and Cornwall who foster animals, and we couldn't do this without them. So they're the real heroes.
I mean, you know, I think the fact, what's so amazing about you, you've spoken to VT about your own personal journey, and then coming to this space where you're having to work with so much other people going through trauma and pain. You know, what would you say to anybody that might know someone who's in that situation, or might even be listening and be in a situation, but just not sure how to take that first step to safety for them and their pets?
You don't need to be an expert in domestic abuse to support somebody. It's about just listening, believing, and signposting them to support. You know, we've got a national domestic abuse helpline. They know about services like us.
Okay.
You know, we're registered with Women's Aid. So, you know, it's just supporting somebody to get help. And it takes around 7 attempts for a survivor to leave an abusive relationship. And each time they get one step closer. So, you know, it's just about being there, believing, you know, understanding is so important.
And not judging, you know, I think there's
Not
a lot of
judging.
people feel a worry of shame.
So, as I said in the video, we need to hold perpetrators to account.
Yeah.
You know, it's not somebody's fault. The abuse that I experienced, the abuse that our service users experience, it's not their fault.
Yeah.
You know, and we're there to help them get to safety. Animals too. Animals are victims of domestic abuse.
Definitely. And you and your team have done and are continuing to do such an amazing and important job. So, yes. So, Michelle, please, who is here to present Mary, Dr. Wakeman's award, please?
Well, there's nothing like a dame, and we have 2 of them. So please welcome broadcasting legend Dame Jenny Murray and one of our greatest sporting champions of all time, Colonel Dame Kelly Holmes.
Woo! Mary, I I could not admire you more. You know, I worked for 33 years on Woman's Hour, and I know a lot about domestic violence. Not that I've experienced it personally, but I've met so many women who have. And I do have dogs, and I know if I were in that position, all I would want is you to look after my dogs.
I've listened to you on my many road trips.
Good. I'm so glad you've been a listener. And you know what's really important is what you said. The only person to blame is the perpetrator.
Yes.
The woman is never to blame. The dog is never to blame. The violent perpetrator is to blame. Congratulations.
Thank you. Well, Mary, you're a survivor and a fighter. And in this world, not many people have a voice as it is. Excuse the pun, but dogs have a bark and cats have a meow. But you have the voice for them. And you're making a difference to not only people's lives, but the animals' lives. And together, that's both. So well done. It's just so heartfelt. And congratulations for having the strength to carry on and do what you do, because I'm sure every day there's trauma. Every day you hear those stories. But you are making a difference to those lives. So thank you, and well done. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Oh.
And I'll give you a kiss as well.
Thank you, Jenny, Kelly, and the inspirational Dr. Mary Wakeham.
Well, whoa, what a night. Amazing pets, amazing people, and some truly amazing stories.
So on behalf of everyone involved in the People's Pet Awards at The Mirror, Webox, Dogs Trust and Cats Protection, a huge thank you to all our award presenters, judges and guests. And of course, to our incomparable host, Judy Love, everyone.
Can I say, and obviously, of course, to Michelle, my amazing co-host.
But of course, the biggest thanks of all go to all of our just amazing winners. You have completely inspired everyone here tonight.